So if you are a law enforcement wife, a military wife, an army wife, so if you are a spouse that has someone that travels for work, and it doesn't mean they have to be gone for months or years, but I mean, if there is a time of absence where you feel like your mate should be present, and we're going to talk about different types of presence, because a lot of people have the physical presence of their mate, they get financial help, but they're mentally not present, they're physically not present, and they're spiritually not present. So we're going to get a little bit beyond just that physical presence of an individual, because some people have a mate that comes home every day, but it feels like they are distant anyway. Wait, like you said, way out someplace else, they still not connected, still not on the same page. So one of the things is going to be about quality versus quantity time together, because in this lifetime, we only have a limited amount of time on this earth. Well, they say the dash between the years. So we need to realize, are we using them effectively in our relationships? So those two songs, Maintain, Jonathan McReynolds. And it was two things that kind of like just really got me in that song, two statements that he made. And it says, as soon as I walk out the door, I need you more. I need you more. And so in that concept of when you have a long distance relationship, you're going to need God more. You're going to need him more. You're going to need his strength. And it's not even that. It just says when I walk out the door. So even us that just walk out the street, when you walk out your bedroom door, when there is that distance that's created, you need the God to help you do that maintaining. We have some basically, some everyday maintenance things that we do in our relationship, that we do to make sure that we stay connected together. And then the other thing was I always run into someone who's on a different page. Oh my goodness, how that is possible when we get out in this world. And the thing is, sometimes your mate is that person who's on a different page, and you need that maintaining by God. I have that conversation with people all the time. Well, my spouse don't agree with me on this topic. The difference is they don't have to agree with you on everything, but you have to find a place where you all can reach a common page where it does not create a division in your relationship. So one of the questions tonight is, does distance create division? And I'm going to start off, and I'm going to let my husband speak a little bit, because I know I'm the talky person here. So, and I'm going to say that going behind that song of Maintain. How do you feel about distance? And I say that because, I know in the beginning stages of our relationship, you were actually an over-the-road truck driver. I was out on the road training. So we were having those missed times when we weren't physically present with each other. So did you feel like our jobs created division, or did they create opportunities for us to get closer? And when I say division, a lot of people see that distance as an obstacle. And so that's for you all single people who are out there who are writing off relationships because the person is not right here in the city with you. They have a job that requires them to travel. This gives you the opportunity to be a little bit more open-minded in the type of mate that you choose. This is for the people who are already married and they have opportunities to take a better job, to get your house into a different financial place. How do you look at those jobs that require you to be away from home? Do you see that as creating division, or do you see it as creating an opportunity to better the relationship?
Well, number one thing, good topic. And I look at it as the, I'm gonna say it like this, the foundation of your relationship. That's number one thing to me, because no matter what kind of job it is, it can be across the street or be across the United States or wherever it is, your wife and your husband got to be on the same page. If she's not comfortable with it, the husband not comfortable with it, it's going to be an issue. That's number one. That's most important, because I'm speaking from my side of it, because you can, even though you want to go out and pay your bills or whatever, you can bring stress to your family. Your wife or your husband. I say it like this: she can be at home responsible for all paying all the bills and stuff, and you out making good money. Yes, that's good. But the most important part, she's responsible for everything around the house. And then I'm just talking from my side of it. She's responsible for paying everything around the house. You're not there to make a decision, okay? Then when me come home, speaking me, when I come home, You made all the decisions, but when I get home and say, baby, I did this, then I say, why did you do that? That's not right. This not, and you look, that's not supposed to be because you're not there to support her. And the same thing vice versa with the wife and husband. So when I'm saying foundation got to be established for you decide to take that job, because it's me myself. I'm saying relation me, family is first. I'm learning that. So family first. I don't care what the circumstances. Family is first.
And y'all heard he said he's learning that, and I mean he's really great at that now. But the thing is, like what I said, like what you said, you have to make sure that everybody's all right with it, because you can't make that time up later on.
No, you can't.
And it's not just about your mate; it's about your kids. It's certain things that once you've missed it, it's gone. They're not going to be 5 again. They're not going to have their first games. You weren't there to support your mate doing particular things. So you have to be able to prioritize. I don't like to use the word juggle or balance. You have to be able to prioritize. No matter what type of job you have to be able to prioritize. And in our relationship, even when I first began here at the radio station, something that was a constant, my husband was here with me every night at this radio station, even though he was on the road. He made sure that he got back, even if he had just drove in town the night that the station was going on. We came in together. So those are things that you have to make sure you're supporting, the things that matter in your relationship, and you are there and you're present. Not just physically present or financially present. Yes, in a time we need finances to get to the next level. But also, God is our provider, so we don't have to get so caught up in making a person that's their burden to do that financial component. And then that process of your life actually flows better together. And I know my husband, one thing that he spoke about our comfort in it. But our comfort in it, because I knew I had a job that, required me to travel and be out from the home a few days. And what we made sure is that we didn't end up being gone months and missing each other. And we never catch each other at home at the same time. So there were moments we had to prioritize, and sometimes prioritizing creates a sacrifice. So that's what you have to know when you have that absent from each other, to make sure that that distance doesn't create division. You have to make sure you sacrifice some things so that you can spend that quality time together. So, and I can remember, and I actually posted it on social media. My husband had actually got off the truck, got on his bike, and drove all the way to Savannah. And I made a little joke about it because when he got to the hotel, he fell dead asleep. And I had to take him out of his bicycle uniform. Motorcycle, y'all know I'm not talking about a real life pedal bicycle. He was talking about a motorcycle. So he had fell out. I had to take his helmet and jacket off. I took a picture in it because I actually was mimicking the song of Celine Dion. He drove all night to get to me. And it's one of those things that it makes you feel good when somebody does that to support you and whatever you're doing. And plus to make sure that you have that time together. So when you all are thinking about in your relationships, there is this thing called love. Love is the key thing. So love is that structure that you have to have. And I'm not talking about a feeling of love. I'm talking about that action of love. And if you put that action of love in place about sacrificing, about prioritizing, about making time when the time is available, everything can work out. And that takes me, I promised you all I was going to give you another scripture, and that's 1 Corinthians 13:7. Love bears all things, believe all things, hopes all things, and endureth in all things. So that means when there's that distance, that time lapse, your love can keep you together because the action is still going on. And probably when we were both working, we probably talked more about things that were deeper in meaning because we didn't have each other there every day.
That's the key right there. That's the key. Communication is more. That's very important, because if you're not there physically, be there emotionally and spiritually, and that's when you just get on your phone, on your Facebook or whatever, and communicate with your family. That's your wife and your kids. Communicate with them. That's very important, and that saves a lot. But I know the time's getting harder in these days, but I always want to say this. Don't never put money in front of your family. Well, I got to go out and pay this bill. I got this car I want to get. I got this house I want to get. I got this business that I'm trying to buy. And so my relationship and stay whole. I get this together first. God gonna take that from you. He gonna take, cause you out making money. It's nothing wrong with money. The Bible is saying there's nothing wrong with money. But if you put your pride, as my wife told me, your pride in the wrong spot, God gonna take it from you. You can go out there and work hard all day long. You can get this car, you can get this fancy house, but you had did it by the God's law, not by man's law. By God's law, you're gonna lose everything because you didn't take care of your family. And family is first. I'm learning. I'm talking for me. Family first. I'm gonna give it all. What I have to sacrifice, I'm putting my family first because I want to be blessed in each and every day because I figure I'm learning out. If I do stuff in order, stuff will come the way it's supposed to come. So don't get out there and be sitting there and say, well, oh babe, I'm sorry, I got to go do this. Then God gonna take it from you. I'm telling you now, He gonna take it from you. So do it with your wife and your kids' feelings at first thing. If they feel all right what you're doing, your wife feel all right, and your kids feel all right with you. And most important, if your conscience is clear and your heart is clear, then go ahead and handle business because God gonna bless you. But if your conscience is not involved and your wife is kind of upset and your kids need you at home to go to a ball game or whatever, then your success is not gonna be successful. You think you'll be successful, but it's not.
Yeah, and that is in that priorities. We think that if we buy someone something that makes up for our lack of presence, and in some instances, you know, we have all these different love languages, and if gift giving is your love language, but at some point you need more than a box with a bow on it. A box with a bow is not going to dry your tears. A box with a bow is not going to allow you a place to rest your head. A box with a bow on it is not going to give you that person you need to vent to and talk to and actually be able to be your real 100% self all the time with.
You know what you call that? Buying love.
Buying love. But can you really buy love? You can
Not
buy
real
some.
love, not real
That's how you can't buy the scriptural definition of love. You can buy this worldly definition of love where you have somebody with you until your money is gone. So it's when you buy it and when your money is gone, that love is out the window with all of the dollar bills too. So I don't want people to be buying love. And yes, love, it is. I'm not telling anybody they have to be broke or penniless. That is not the avenue. But the concept is, when you are creating your relationship, there has to be a foundational component there. And that's real love. Love has to be at the center of that relationship. And I'm going to jump into another scripture, and that is Deuteronomy 24:5. Yes, I know tonight I gave 3 scriptures. So, and it is, when a man have taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any new business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife, which he has taken. Now that's scripture. That's a commandment. Whoa, and that deep, because see now, what does that mean? In your first year of marriage, you should be setting up a foundation somewhere where y'all can build a friendship, somewhere you can get to know each other. So in your relationships, you should take that year and not take on anything new, is what it says. You should not go out to war, and you should not take on any new business, because if you do that, that means it's going to take priority over your relationship, and you haven't even given it an opportunity for the seed and for it to grow, and those are things that you'll miss out on. So that is key, and it said new. So if you need to press a reset or restart in your relationship, this is an opportunity to drill up that foundation and create something new and stronger. And I see you got to say something on that. I know.
and that's powerful what you just got to say, because I was married for 32 years, and my wife was stationed there and me being on the road, driving, going all the time. But then Lord took her home, and I got remarried to this nice, beautiful lady I'm sitting inside. And I had to make a change, because I couldn't take that same atmosphere in my first marriage, how I was going all the time, and bring it into my second marriage, because we have to learn how to build a strong relationship, a strong friendship. And by me being on the road all the time, that wasn't helping nothing, because she don't know me and I don't know her. And so I had to make a sacrifice. That's what I'm saying. Guys, ladies, there's nothing wrong in making a sacrifice. There's nothing wrong with it, because sometimes you make a sacrifice and say, this is not going right. Hang in there. Praise to the Heavenly Father, because we still Him. We still eating. We still got the house living. Got some piece of cars in the yard. So we still hanging in there. So, just see how strong your real love is. I'm not talking about, baby, I love you, or this, go buy her flowers, I'm gonna get her a ring or something, give her some clothes that make her, nah.
When the real storm outside.
Yes, man, see what happened when the real storm come, because I made good money driving the truck, but I made a decision that I'm gonna stop driving the truck. I made a decision that I'm just gonna do something else where I can be around my wife all the time, because you need to build that friendship. That's how you build friendship. It's very easy to say you love someone, okay? It's very easy to say you love. It's very easy to make money and go out and buy her something or buy him something. It's very easy, but that don't mean nothing, because when the storm come, when you're not around, I'm not around, there's issues. So I made a sacrifice. And if I can make a sacrifice, I know a lot of you guys wouldn't make a sacrifice. But once again, I say it again, both y'all guys got to be on the same page. That's not only with your wife or your husband, that's with your kids too. Very important.
And that was key, as I told you about the song Maintain, but the song The Way You Love Me with Jonathan McReynolds too, and I know they were both Jonathan McReynolds songs. The Way You Love Me was key because it is about prioritizing, putting God first. So if you put God first, automatically your relationship with your mate go right. And that's why I always start off having a good relationship with God, self, and others. Because if you get that together, the others will blend in. And I saw that finger. I saw.
But no, I like what you said when you say God first, but let's put an emphasis on that, because God can be anything.
Yeah, but not God, church.
Not
Not God, the preacher. God is actually your time with actually God. Because I know we get that confused.
Very confused.
Yeah, we give too much time at the church and we put our family second, or we pay all our money in offerings and tithes. Yes, we must be obedient, but we have to be clear that we are not confusing the church with God or man with God, but our intimate relationship that we have God. That is what we need to actually transfer that intimacy and our relationships with others.
Yeah, it's very important. It's another thing I want to say to you. I know I get to yakking sometimes.
That's all right. Yak on with us tonight.
Men, I'm speaking from a man's side. Women's is a lot stronger than us guys. I'm saying it with the bottom of my heart. They are, because they can take on more and we don't know about it. I'm learning from being around my wife that when she said, when I asked her something, I said, "Is you all right?" She said, "Yeah." You feeling good? Yeah. Then I know that something's not right, and you have to be able to peek that, because don't just don't ask her nothing if things are all right or is anything I do. You just let it fly by. You supposed to know your wife to know better that something is wrong. So slow your roll. When I mean slow your roll, you got a fast pace. Slow it down to 5 miles an hour. Sit your wife down and have a long conversation with her. And it's a good thing to have a dialogue with your wife and your kids at least once or twice a week to see where everything is at, because you be gone all the time, she be gone all the time, y'all don't have time to sit down once a week or twice a week to have a dialogue to see where everything is going. Then y'all gonna have issues, and issues gonna be there. You don't know nothing about it. Come on, baby, how was your day? It was all right. And then you look at the tone of her voice or listen at the tone of his voice, you know something ain't right, but you so tired and so busy, tired of what for yourself, then you got time to check on her, then when check on him, vice versa. Then when something break loose, when storm come through, then where all that come from? Well, she was showing you the sign, or he was showing you the doggone sign, because he wasn't pepped up like he's supposed to be, or she wasn't pepped up.
Yeah, like that lack of presence we were talking about.
Right.
You come home every day, but you're not present mentally because you're not observant. You're not present physically because you come home, but you're too tired to do anything. You don't do the activities that actually make you a good spouse anymore. All you want to do is sleep because you're too tired to do anything. Or that spiritual presence, and I don't mean you show up and you sit on the pew. I mean spiritual presence where you encourage each other. Spiritual presence where if you're the man, you acting as the head of the household. If you're the woman, you acting as the rib that you need to be. Spiritual presence, knowing the word, following the word, having the faith in the word, and showing it every day in your household. So that's what I mean. You can come home every day and there still can be a distance, a great division. And I think when you say, does distance create division, it's not the distance of actually space. It's the distance that we create in a perspective of mentality, a physical difference, a spiritual distance that we create from each other. I could be physically in your presence every day, and we could be going further and further apart. And unfortunately, that is the big chasm that we're creating, a big ditch. We dig it every day in our relationships because the divorce rate is increasing. So we got to be digging that hole every day. We digging that hole every day working on everything else besides working on those aspects of our relationship to get closer. We spend time working and chasing everything but God. And I say God because if we chasing God, automatically he opens up the doors to bless us in our relationships. So be careful doing this chase, doing this run in our relationship, whether you're talking about a long distance relationship because you're trying to get one and you're doing an online one, whether you're in a long distance relationship by circumstance because of the military or the job. Be careful when you start chasing things that take you outside of your relationships and then you can't come back. As it says, you're going to always run into somebody on a different page. You need to make sure you have that word so deep in your heart that you're around people who are iron, who will cut and slice and make you stronger. You need to be around people who are like-minded and have wisdom. You need to be around people that are going to give you counsel and tell you when you're in the wrong. So that way your relationship will stay intact because the people, that circle that is around you, they're going to be so close-knit to help you. So, does absent necessarily make the heart grow fonder? It depends on your relationship and how much you're willing to do in the maintaining of it. But first of all, you got to be somebody who somebody misses in order for it to make it fun. Because I might be running from you. I might be like, oh, I'm so glad I get to go out of town today because you get on my nerves. So, be something that is missable. So be something that's desirable, be something that somebody want to miss. So it's a perspective check that we should all be having on ourselves today to make sure it is somebody you're being missable. Because it might be a pleasure or a joy that person is running away from you in the chaos of your life. Make sure that you are giving quality time, not just quantity time. Because people will say, oh, I've been at home all day. Yeah, but you at home sleep, you at home a nag, you at home in a miserable attitude. It was nothing positive, nothing quality about the time that you all spent together. I know you got something to say on that quality.
I mean, yes, and that's very, very important because, you know, it's essential for quality time. I'm not talking about just sitting there, just not looking at each other, having a conversation. I'm talking about spending quality time together because she got to be satisfied, he got to be satisfied. Make sure he miss you when you leave the house. Don't make sure he kind of be glad you're going from the house. You know, and what I like to do, what me and my wife I'm working on, we call relationship checkup. You know, and it's good to do that. You know, that's relationship checkup, baby. That's good. You know, I like to, you know, we like to do that because you find out where everything at. Just like your car. You know, you got a brand new car. You got a brand new car, old car. Hey, when you park the car, go up to it and make sure all the belts is on the car. Make sure you check the oil in the car, the brake fluid. That's what you call a checkup because you miss.
You don't want to overheat down the road and have an explosion and y'all break up.
Yeah, so always do a checkup. It's very important, you know. And checkup, you can do that all the time. Do it all the time. Make sure you and us on the same page. And I'm learning. And men's, I'm back on men's again. Don't ever get hooked up on your companion on how she look. Don't do that because your relationship is not gonna last. You're not building a strong foundation because if you get with this young lady or whatever and looking at how she look and how she figure, what her figure look like, then when you get back on the road, or I'm saying truck drivers or whatever, police officer, airplanes, pilots, stewards, whatever your job is, you're gonna be looking for somebody that might be figure better than your wife. And that's cause a problem. So I've been taught over the years, talking to me, I'm talking over the years to fall in love with the person hard and then what's in the person's head. You know, that's how I learned how to accept my wife. What's in her heart, what's in her head, what her spirit is like. And if you concentrate on what's in this person's heart and head and forget the features of how she look, how he look, your relationship will work out a whole lot more better because you won't be eyeballing trying to find somebody that look a little better than your wife or look a little better than your husband because you might find somebody that look better than your wife. You might find somebody that look better than your husband. But at the same time, too, there's a price to pay. And they always say the grass is green on the side. Your grass at home will be a lot greener, too, if you take time and nurture it like it's supposed to be.
Yep. And there's a lot of manure on everybody's grass. That's what it takes it to grow. So remember that. Y'all can transfer it however you want to do that. But the part that you said right there is about if you fall in love with somebody's heart. If you fall in love with their heart, that absence will create that fondness. That absence will create a missing because you will be craving the heart of that person all the time. So realize that if you have that dynamics in your relationship, yes, there's an absence will make the heart grow fonder, and distance does not have to create division. So remember, it is quality time versus quantity time that you're pouring into your relationship. Prioritize. And I'm going to turn it to a song, but we're going to come back before we close out this hour this evening. But I want you all to hear I Can Feel You. And that's Gene Johnson. That's a little bit slower, but it's about a feeling, about the presence. Even when you're not physically there, you want to be able to leave a feeling. So I will see you all back in a little bit.